Hey, this is Emily. Welcome to our fourth weekly check-in call. Today's session will focus on whole grains. Since our challenge this week is focused on whole grains, we'll talk about why whole grains are important and how they differ from their refined counterparts. And lastly, we'll also discuss how to read labels to make sure you're really buying a whole grain product. Let's begin by talking about what a whole grain is. A whole grain is unrefined and contains all three parts of the grain kernel: the bran, endosperm, and germ. When a grain is refined, the bran and germ are stripped off, leaving only the endosperm behind. In the refining process, much of the fiber and nutrients are removed. Many refined grain products such as white flour or white rice are enriched to add back some of the nutrients that were removed. Examples of whole grain products include whole wheat, whole oats, whole grain corn, popcorn, brown rice, rye, barley, quinoa, among others. There are also many other grain products that are made with whole grain ingredients, such as 100% whole grain breads, cereals, pasta, and tortillas. Why do you hear so much about whole grains? Because they are rich in dietary fiber, and they still contain the fiber-rich bran and germ. Eating a diet rich in fiber and whole grains is associated with a reduced risk of certain chronic health conditions, and it may also help with fullness and maintaining or achieving a healthy weight. Whole grains are also nutrient-dense foods, meaning they contain a lot of valuable nutrients for a low number of calories. When a refined grain is enriched, some vitamins are added back, but the fiber generally isn't. Also, we talked last week about phytochemicals or plant chemicals that are found in plant foods, such as fruits, vegetables, and whole grains that are associated with certain health benefits. Only some of the nutrients we know about can be added back to refined grains, so there are likely additional benefits to getting grains in their original whole form as created by nature. What counts as a serving or an ounce of whole grains? Typically it's 1 slice of bread, 1 cup of ready-to-eat cereal, or a half cup of cooked rice, pasta, or cereal. The United States Department of Agriculture recommends making at least half of your daily grain servings whole grains. How much do you know about finding whole grain products? Here is a quiz question to test your knowledge. Which of these options, when appearing on the food label, indicates a whole grain bread? A. Multi-grain bread. B. 100% wheat bread. C. Made with enriched wheat flour. D. Whole grain wheat flour is the first ingredient. Or E. All of the above. The answer is D. You've probably seen options A, B, and C on many labels, but they don't indicate whole grains. Multigrain simply means that a product contains more than one type of grain, but some or all of them could be refined. 100% wheat bread means it's made with wheat flour, not potato, oat, or another type, but it's likely a refined flour. And made with enriched wheat flour is another term for your typical white flour. It's enriched to bring back some of the vitamins removed in processing. So how can you be sure you're actually buying a whole grain product? You have to read the label carefully. Here are a few clues. Check the nutrition facts label for fiber content per serving. Whole grain products will usually have more fiber than the refined counterparts. Select breads that are labeled 100% whole wheat or 100% whole grain and have at least 2 grams of fiber per slice. Choose cereals that have at least 3 to 5 grams of fiber per serving. And lastly, look at the list of ingredients and choose those with a whole grain ingredient listed first. This is the most abundant ingredient in the product by weight. As you increase your intake of whole grains, it's likely that your intake of fiber will also go up. That's good, but here are a few important tips to help you be fiber wise. First, add fiber to your diet gradually over a period of a few weeks. Fiber is a carbohydrate, but it's one that we don't have the enzymes to digest or break apart, so it goes through the GI tract mostly intact and is fermented by naturally occurring bacteria in the large intestine. Adding too much fiber too quickly may cause gas and bloating, so adding it slowly can help. Second, be consistent and have fiber-rich foods daily. Third, drink plenty of fluids. Adding more fiber but not drinking enough water can cause constipation. And lastly, don't overdo it. It's best to increase fiber over time rather than all at once. Here are a few questions that I want you to think about. What have you noticed when reading labels for fiber and whole grains? Is there anything that has surprised you? And second, what new whole grain products or recipes have you tried? Thanks for taking the time to watch this session, and if you have any questions, do not hesitate to reach out to Bree or myself, and we will send you the next weekly challenge on Monday.